Alright, so this is going to be a super sped up one. I'm not going to dwell too much on what I'm doing here. This is basically just a camera test. So I was testing out different lighting stuff. These two paintings are going to end up being delightful little Kirby paintings. Now I'm starting out with a sky background. Just doing a couple different shades of blue, basically. And then clouds are kind of super easy. Just throw some white on there. This is me shaking up the cans. These things have been spending all winter sitting still, so I wanted to make sure they were well shaken up before I use them. Just a little bit of white, and then I use a little bit of lavender for shading, because I think that those make some really, really nice clouds. Just add a little more white on top of that. Make them look a little more, make them look layered, basically. And, yeah, you know, I just do quick little touch-ups. And then we just kind of let them dry. So they're ready for the stencils. This video segment's taking a little bit longer. So I kind of jumped the gun saying, let's let them dry. Okay, here we go. So, in this one, the lights are on way too bright, and you're going to see the back of my head a lot, because I hadn't figured out where to put the camera just yet. But, yeah, this layer is pink. I like to start with, I like to start the bottom layer with a light color. Here I am messing around with the lighting. I eventually get it figured out by the end of the video, but you still see a lot of the back of my head. Whoop, there I am. That's just me goofing off while I'm shaking my cans. Like I said, these cans have been sitting all winter. I want to make sure they're well shaken up because they can get clogged really easily if I don't shake them up good. So there's the first layer. Just a nice light pink. Moving on. Basically, I let it sit for usually about 30 minutes or so. Make sure it's dry. There's the back of my head as I put the next stencil on. 30 minutes is probably too long, but I like to be better safe than sorry. And it's usually just I sneak off to my lab and put another layer on and then go back inside. That's usually how it works out. Just, oh, I've got a free moment. I better go check on my stuff, you know, so... black, sometimes depending on the stencil, I do like 2 layers of black usually, because I'll start with the light color on the bottom, do a layer of black, and then I'll add all the other colors, and by then the black has become a little like faded, so I'll just add another layer of black on top of that. With these Kirby ones though, Kirby's super easy, so I don't really need to do that. There's only one other main color other than the back of my head. And you can see me just using coins to weigh down the stencil. And of course those big old blocks of wood to weigh down the stencil. Here I am shaking that up. I got lots of practice doing that. You know, that's why I'm so good at this. Just quick little spurts. You want to make sure you get good coverage, but you do not want to put too much paint on. Otherwise, it will kind of like just, you know, spread out. And then, of course, I put another... basically, I take this cutout. That's the cutout, literally the cutout from the bottom layer, the pink layer. And I can use that to just kind of touch up the background and clean up the edges a little bit. So it's pretty handy. So here I am, just adding a little more white for the clouds, making the clouds stand out a little bit more. Because when it dried, it kind of blended more with the blue, and so I wanted to make the clouds stand out. And then here's the tricky part, trying to get this thing off without ruining the wet paint. It's just a precarious process. There we go. And there's Kirby. And then I go hang him up on the wall, And then there's the other one. I ended up making that one a little bit darker. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And see you on the next one.